Members of Ukraine's parliament have traveled to Capitol Hill to brief Congress on how the U.S. can help the country win the war that's caused more than 4 million of its citizens to flee. Joe Khalil is joining us live from Washington, D.C. with more on this story. Joe.
Adrian, what's really remarkable is if you put yourself in their shoes, think about it. These are members of parliament. They were working on budgets a couple of months ago, and now they're traveling halfway across the world pleading for more weapons, more aid, more money for their war effort against an invading army that's much bigger than their own. And by the way, they're winning in that effort, and their message seems to be resonating here in Congress.
Much like Ukrainian civilians have taken up arms to defend their country, Ukrainian lawmakers have taken their fight on the diplomatic front overseas to the U.S. Capitol.
We need more weapons for Ukraine, more heavy weapons, I would say.
Yevgenia Kravchuk was part of a group of Ukrainian members of parliament who traveled to the U.S. this week to lobby the House and Senate in person, hoping a direct appeal will fast-track more aid and weapons to her country. And like Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, she and others appealed to Americans' sense of identity.
Ukraine is not fighting right now just for itself and for Ukrainians. We do also fight right now for Western values, for everything United States as a country stands for.
They're asking for more help, and we've got to be responsive.
Senators we spoke with after the closed-door meetings tell us there's generally a sense of support for providing Ukrainians more aid and weapons. And the Ukrainian delegation delivered a message about Russia's promise to scale back aggression around Kyiv.
The only thing the parliamentarian said, which I agree with, was don't trust Russia.
Senator Chris Murphy, member of the Foreign Relations Committee, says despite the loss of life, the Ukrainian lawmakers conveyed a sense of confidence that with continued American help, their forces can not just end, but win this war.
The Russians are losing this war, which is extraordinary. And while the Ukrainians are heartbroken at the scope of the loss of life, this has been a sight to see, a real inspiration.
So after Washington, that group traveled to Ottawa to do the same thing in Canada with their lawmakers. And the parliamentarian Kravchuk, who we interviewed, as soon as the camera was off, she sort of pleaded with me directly as a reporter. She said, keep the pressure on lawmakers not to forget about Ukraine, because she told me it's not just words. She said it's an honestly strong-held belief that if they have weapons and support, they can actually win this war against the much larger Russian army. Certainly something that they're going to be continuing to fight for. Adrian.
All right, Joe, thank you so much. It's hard to ignore this story, especially with everything coming out that we're learning every single day. Another big... Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to click on the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.